attempting to organise a public event to push back the tank movement and messages by putting on such an important event in
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third ever episode of the Brawler and the Brain. I'm here, Tim is here with Jarrad once again.
G'day, mate. Good to see you.
You too. And we've also got joining us, Senator Slayer. How you going?
What's going on, boys? I'm pretty happy to be with you two terrorists. It's good night for it.
We're being whacked on all fronts at the moment by the media and they say they're not Antifa doxers, and also by Dan with his latest lockdown.
You can't say the T word, but that might get us into trouble.
What T word?
So only the establishment media can use the word terrorist, I guess.
Yeah. They throw it around loosely now. It's like racist or homophobic. One of them,
So hang on. You're a terrorist, Jarrad, because you attended a protest or something.
No, far right extremists.
So I'm getting confused, but that actually means terrorist. Far right extremist, like Islamic extremist.
The funny thing is, I'm far from far right, but that doesn't matter.
But basically, all you did is what the left have been doing for the last 10 years is trying to affect someone's workplace.
But if you do that, then that's threats in intimidation, because there's two sets of rules, double standards.
As you know, I didn't threaten anyone. I went there nice and peaceful. I didn't dox anybody online. That's not what I went to. I didn't put up their public information. I just went to them. I just went straight to them. That's it. So, and a lot of these people have left trails. But
Jared, you broke the rule. You're meant to lie down and let them just ruin your life. Like, what are you doing? You're ruining it.
I know.
Yeah, and that's not what what you said you did. That's not what the project said you did.
Oh well, that's I don't even watch that, mate. So whatever they said I did, that's just
Yeah. So there was last Thursday on Dusty's Thirsty Thursday. We went through the initial Guardian piece by Michael McGowan. Hello, Michael. I'm sure you're tuning in again tonight. Maybe going for a trilogy, because he's just put up another article. Then there was the project segment on the Friday night. It was basically a 1.5 minute segment, and they interviewed Greg Barton, who doesn't like anyone who's critical of Islam. That's why he doesn't like the Proud Boys either. Then there was this in the Herald Sun on Sunday: homegrown fear, threat of extreme right-wing terrorism on the rise in Australia. And as you can see here, it mentions the dangerous rise of the right, and so mentions anti-Putin resistance. That's one of those LARPA neo-Nazi groups that stuck swastikas on various lampposts everywhere. Then National Socialist Network, which has grown out of the Lads Society that Tom Sewell and Jacob Hirschnett are involved in, that organised that Grampians trip on Australia Day. Mentions the base, which I've heard Cass Ross talk about it. What does she call herself? A part-time Nazi hunter in her spare time. She spends time on these Discord forums, looking at if young men are being radicalized. So it's called a neo-Nazi white supremacist paramilitary hate group, active in Australia, the United States, Canada, South Africa, and the United Kingdom. The group calls for the formation of a white ethno-states. Terrorism and the violent overthrow of the government are seen as legitimate tactic to achieve its goals. So
that chick, Kat, what is her name?
Kaz.
Yeah, she shouldn't be spending her time looking at us. She should be spending her time looking at the fucking scales, because she's the weight of a fucking elephant.
I haven't seen it.
Well, she's an academic based in Tasmania, where her expertise is like Asian studies. So it's not her area of expertise, like extreme right-wingism.
But to that Mark McGowan dude, or whatever,
Michael McGowan. Mark McGowan's the Premier of WA.
Whatever. bro, you keep hitting up my gym trying to get a statement. I'm not going to give you a statement because you're going to twist it. So you're more than welcome to come on anytime, and I'll talk to you face to face. Like I'm happy to do that, but I'm not going to talk to you in a forum that you can twist. So we all know that you watch the podcast. If you want to come on, man. I don't buy it. Like,
Hey,
the project's watching, they say.
challenge him to a fist fight and shit.
Oh no, that'll get you that'll get him more. Like he'll write 10 more articles about you if that.
Well, we don't want Mark beating me up or Mike beating me up or whatever you know, but we can definitely have him on for a friendly conversation anytime. So I've got
by conversation. You mean violence? Yeah. Is that code word for violence?
It is if you are the left-wing media. If you go there to try to have a friendly conversation, all of a sudden comes intimidation. So, yeah, let's see how he twists this in his next article. But, mate, invites there. Don't be a pussy.
Here is his latest that was published late this afternoon. Australian Proud Boys leader sought combat-trained supporters to arrest police at COVID lockdown protests. And so they're referring to you. I'm not sure if you'd be considered a leader. You're a relatively new Proud Boy. So he's pumped you up quite a bit, Michael McGowan.
He's the Führer. He's the new Führer.
I am the president of my chapter, Tim. Don't forget that, brother. And we do have, and we are a very fucking strong chapter. So that's something for him to worry about. But at the end of the day, it's all bullshit. I read that article just before we went online, and it's just more shit. Like they can keep writing whatever they want. It's just shit. They're not very good at their job. You know what I mean? They think all this pressure hurts. Don't forget, I have the Senator Slayer as my mentor. You motherfuckers can't hurt me. Like he's been doing this for years. I know what is coming. Like it's all good. It's all good.
The project has said, Tim, can I have you confirm or deny you received combat training from Jarrad? Well, I had a brief MMA training session and went sparring with Jarrad. Is that what you call combat training?
Well, I didn't actually train you. The Maniac trained you. So the Maniac got you ready for our little fight. But yeah, you did give me a good hiding. So whatever he taught you must have been effective.
Tim needs to learn defense training from behind, from attackers that are coming from behind. Have you done any of that training, Tim?
Isn't that an offensive drill? Wouldn't I be teaching him offense?
Depends if he likes to attack front on or from behind.
Anyway, let's see what Michael McGowan's written. I noticed that he didn't, like the ABC did. He didn't blur the OK sign. Remember the ABC in their story? They blurred the OK sign because it would have been too triggering for ABC readers to see the OK sign.
Yeah, well, and all these people claiming we're KKK. You motherfuckers need to realize the big dude in the video with me, his dad's black. You know what I mean? Like, he's Mauritian, motherfuckers. How's he a Nazi? Everyone's calling him KKK. You people are so far from the mark that, it doesn't even concern us.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them, man. It's just, look, it's the old tactic of, like, you don't need to debate anyone. You just need to humiliate them and attack them by calling them Nazi. So instead of, like, debating you, Jarrad, they just go, yeah, you're a Nazi. Like, it's actually quite a good tactic to use.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Once they label you, it's what, people will read it and believe it no matter what. So,
Michael McGowan hasn't called you a Nazi, but has said leaders of the far-right Proud Boys in Australia sought people trained in combat to help confront police during anti-lockdown protests in Melbourne last year, amid repeated warnings from security agencies in Australia. They always quote this, and overseas, about the way the far-right groups have used the COVID-19 pandemic to recruit. Guardian Australia can reveal that senior members of the neo-fascist Proud Boys group were involved in protests during Melbourne's second wave lockdown last year. Well, it was the Melbourne Cup Day anti-lockdown protest when sort of Melbourne was semi-open. The Ring of Steel was still up, but there was the 25K radius. What is it? You're allowed 2 visitors to your private home, and you're only allowed to gather in groups of 10 in public, and you had to wear masks everywhere. So it was sort of that. What was Dan called part of that easing period? So it was not a protest during this second wave lockdown. There was like 0 cases for like a week during that during when that Melbourne Cup Day protest took place.
And don't forget the Invasion Day protest was that same day with a lot more people, and the police walked with us. You know,
no. Yeah, you're falling into what he wrote later down here. It's if we go further down here, Searby was also among a group of Proud Boys members who attended an Invasion Day rally on Melbourne, January 26. No, that's false. The Melbourne Proud Boys attended the People's Australia Day parade. There was only So, and what does Michael McGowan believe that Australia Day isn't a thing? It's only Invasion Day. That seems to be the implication I got.
And the police walked beside us. You know, we spoke to the police early in the day. You know, I don't know why these people think we have a bad relationship with them. I mean, granted, when they were, you know, during the height of the lockdown, we did have some issues with them, and I was quite public about that. They weren't doing their job. You know what I mean? They were acting outside their jurisdiction. That's not okay. You know, I have no problem with police doing their job. I support police doing their job. We need police to do their job. So, you know, they make it out like we're on the opposite side of the law. We're not. We're all about law and order. So.
Now, Tracy Grimshaw, host of A Current Affair, is apparently in the chat.
Hey, what did Gordon Ramsay call her? Didn't he call her a cunt or something?
No, a lesbian.
That would make sense.
A lesbian.
The one with a lesbian cunt.
Something.
Hey! Someone's already left your chat because of the language. Boomer postmenopausal Anita has left. She doesn't like Jarrad's language, and she doesn't like the fact that Tim can't string a sentence together, apparently. So then she took off.
Oh, was she saying that about me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, she'll tune into Trad Tasman Talk tomorrow when me and Dewey, we're lockdown buddies again because Auckland has been locked down over 3 mystery cases.
Yeah, she can stick to the wholesome family shows that you do. And, you know, leave the family out.
Jarrad, the boomer chicks can just sit around liking Facebook videos and shit. Like, they'll eventually win, you know what I mean? Win the culture war. Because they'll share, like, a Facebook video here and there. And then they'll just, like, yell at activists like you are actually doing something because you used the F word. Or you didn't conduct yourself in the perfect way that they would like, you know?
Yeah.
If you listen to boomers about activism, you're going to fail in fucking 2 seconds.
We've got another guest here. We've got the Versace Cowboy. How you going?
Hey.
What's going on, boys?
Yeah, this might definitely get another Guardian article.
Hang on. Hey, do you want me to hook up a video so they can get a good photo? Hang on.
Yeah, they'll need the photo shoot. Player.
Oh, but I don't know. I feel like a bit underdressed now. Looking at the hair all slicked back, I feel like I need to go have a shower. The members of the project, the Guardian and ACA, they'll say that that's a fash cut. Fash cut. I don't even know what a fash cut is.
I actually, what happened was I went to the barbershop. It was on, was it Friday or Saturday? No, it was Friday. Saturday they were closed. It was Friday, and the announcements were getting made, and then they had the apprentice, and he's like, "Do you want a haircut? What sort of haircut do you want?" And I said to him, he goes, "I'm an apprentice. I can only do certain styles." And I said to him, "Well, you know what? You need to practice. You give me whatever haircut you want to give me." And he gave me this. And he was a Samoan kid.
Yeah.
So I guess if it's a fascist haircut, I guess he must have been the fascist because he chose it.
Yeah, he done well. Good job.
Yeah, no, I was happy with him. He was real happy with the fact that some bloke was letting him cut his hair without any consequences, I guess. So,
and a racist bloke apparently too. So that's not bad at all.
Yeah, well, maybe we should recruit him.
maybe they would just say that we were using him. That was all. So
apparently
he wouldn't be. He wouldn't be the first of you. He wouldn't be the first Islander to join up. That's for sure.
Oh, we've also got Carrie Bickmore in the chat as well.
Carrie,
it's all happening tonight.
Didn't she like
They
move
used-
on in like 2 weeks after her husband died? From what I remember.
I don't know,
think-
but I wouldn't
think he
attack
moved on
her.
a couple of years before.
I wouldn't attack her for something like that.
No, I just remember like the what are they, soapy magazines? I just remember that her husband died, and then like a week later she was with someone else.
Well, if it's in one of those magazines, take it with a grain of salt.
I could be wrong.
So Carrie Bickmore says looks like a racist haircut.
And why would
where-
you take it with a grain of salt, Tim? We know how accurate the media is.
Oh yeah, what is it? The women's. I read in one of the women's magazines. Saw it in one of the women's magazines today that Harry and Meghan have split.
Who?
Oh,
Prince Harry and Meghan.
I know who they are.
Yeah, she got what she wanted, so she moves on now.
Well, no, that's not the truth because they've just announced Harry and Meghan that they're expecting their second child, which we remember will be their final one. Remember how they said they're only going to have 2 children to save the planet?
she's damaged goods now.
So two children's going to save the planet?
Yeah, reducing
must be
their
fucking good kids.
their carbon environmental footprint.
Oh, I thought they were just having 2 super kids.
Could you imagine the looks that she would give Harry when he's on the phone to his brother? Like the looks in the background, like that like bitchy look. I could just picture her, man. Like Harry's on the phone to his brother William. Yeah, how's it going, bro? I haven't spoken to you in 6 months, and then she's just in the background, like angry and shit. You know what I mean? Can you see that? Like she just reminds me of one of those like possessive, bitchy girlfriends.
Oh yeah, she'd probably be one of the most manipulative women on the planet. Katie Hopkins, who I've had as a guest on Wilms Front, she's provided heaps of analysis of Meghan Markle's personality and her manipulativeness. She's also played Meghan Markle as a character as well on a YouTube channel.
Did she play a succubus?
That's,
Yes.
That's
Sorry?
Milo's mum. The one you're talking
Yes,
about, the lady you're talking
yes.
about?
Yes,
Yeah,
Katie
I knew
Hopkins.
about it.
She's known as Milo's mum.
Yeah.
Fuck, you look like 10 years younger, Chris, man, with that haircut. You look like a
What's
kid with a beard. You look like 10 years younger with that haircut.
Imagine if you did shave your beard, like
36 years old. I'm 35 actually. I'm nearly 36.
You're a single man?
No, I'm not. Haven't taken.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
before you came on, you
Are you
said
happy? Are you happy?
Yeah, of course. You know, like,
Good,
I wouldn't,
good,
I wouldn't
good.
Be, you know how it is.
Yeah, that's good. I like to hear it, you know?
What happened to Cameron here? I thought you were going to get a picture up or something.
It's going to fucking take too long.
Versace, before you came on, you sent through a super chat on entropy. I'd like to remind all our people watching on YouTube and D Live that by clicking the entropy and the live chat, you can ask a question or send through a super chat, including because we've got quite a large viewership tonight. Obviously, a lot of a Project ACA and Guardian staff as well. So appreciate you watching, getting the views up and helping us break through the algorithm because.
That's because once we said the Senator Slayer was coming on, the views went straight up.
Hey, Waleed's here as well. Why are you hosting a racist stream? Who's that?
Hey, what was that super chat?
Oh yeah, it says it's for $3.33, 333. Neil sounds like he's a little jealous he's not the #1 target for media hit pieces anymore. Proud of your boy to all the Proud Boys. Also, never forget Peter Grace pissed his pants at Fed Square.
Who did that super chat?
Well,
Versace.
Versace? Yeah. I jail myself getting doxxed, losing my job. Yeah, no thanks. You can have it any
I've
day.
been trying to drag Neil back into it for ages. He won't. He's like, come get doxed with me.
Nah, my life's pretty good at the moment. I'm not going to fucking sabotage it any longer.
You just have to be set up right, bro. Then my life's pretty good too.
Yeah, but where's he gone?
I think
I don't know. He might be back.
I think he had enough of your shit too.
Oh, hang on, I'm going to go set up this webcam, so I'll put it on mute. It's either that or I'll do it with my phone, but the phone's terrible with audio, I think. So if you bear with me, I'll get a video up.
Oh, we'll bear with you. We're not going anywhere.
So you've been saying, Jarrad, that businesses associated with you, they've been getting heaps of pro forma emails, complaints from people purporting to be customers saying that, we're never going to do business with you again.
Mate, it's not even that. Like most of them aren't customers. Like,
that's my point. Exactly, they purport to be customers.
Yeah, but they're not. Like, it's bullshit, and they're not even on the right trail. They're pretty bad at what they do. Actually, they're doxing people. I know, but that's not me. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what they do. They just do whatever they want. So, gyms are like, honestly, there's more people coming now to class than there was before. So the more articles they write, we're going to have to move into a bigger gym soon. So it's all good.
and as if Antifa supporters, apparently the people that you supposedly threatened were not Antifa, but as Antifa themselves keep saying, they're not a formal organization with membership. So when we say they're Antifa supporters. I mean, if you like and comment on an Antifa page and mock the targets of Antifa, then you're pretty supportive of Antifa. So
and look, we're in Australia. Antifa hasn't become a public enemy yet, but they're making themselves one with all their bullshit. People see through the lies, so it's. They think that they're all hidden away in that, but trust me, things are catching up quickly. We have, there's plenty of information coming in about who people are, their whereabouts. It's not that hard to find. They're not that smart. So they can keep talking, but we'll see.
What you're going through, it's with the emails that are being sent through. It reminds me of what the Twitter account Sleeping Giants Oz has been doing for years. Oh, sorry, there's two Sleeping Giants accounts. The original one is in the US, and then there's an Australian one, which is basically getting businesses to stop advertising on right-wing media such as 2GB when Alan Jones was on at Sky News, because they have the Sky News After Dark lineup, and they list all the advertisers there and ask them to send through all these pro forma emails, and so because a lot of these companies, their HR managers that basically live on social media, they get all these angry Twitter mentions, and they freak out and tell the high ups, look, we're going to lose all these customers because Twitter, and we're getting all these similar emails. We better disavow, denounce.
Yeah, look, I did. Some people do shoot themselves pretty quickly when there's a bit of pressure on them. It's a shame to see, I thought people have more resilience. They don't. They crumble and break, and that's what they expect. When you make a difference, people try to hit you hard. That's just the way it is. When you start to make noise and when you start to be effective, people try to come after you, and that's what I'm experiencing now. I expected this. I was prepared for this. It's fine. They can keep coming. We're good. The thing is, no one's contacted me. No one's contacted me directly.
Michael McGowan
emailed me. No, he contacted my partner's wife. He didn't even contact me. No one's contacted me. So, I'm on Telegram, people. You can find me. I'm in the Melbourne Freedom Day group. I'm in all them groups. Just hit me up. If you want to chat, hit me up. I'm not that hard to find. So, when Michael McGowan and all these cunts are going in their little roundabout way of doing all this bullshit, just come straight to me. It's not that easy. People are making threats against people that have nothing to do with me. Women that have nothing to do with me. You shouldn't do things like that. Talk to me. I'm right here. You know what I mean? They can jump in our chat. Jump in now. Jump on. Say hello. You know what I mean? It's not hard to do. I don't know. They're all. I'm really thinking, Tim, most of these aren't real people. I think.
Oh, they are real people who pretty much do this most of the time.
Where are they?
A lot of them. You could probably guarantee they're on some form of government benefit, whether that be direct welfare or they live on some government grant for their artistic or whatever.
Yeah, well, that you know, I don't see him in real life. Where you know, no one.
You won't see them in real life.
Yeah, everyone I speak to is cool. Most people know what's going on. You know, a few people have asked a few questions because some people believe the media, and you know, as soon as you explain to them how it is, they seem pretty cool. You know, one of the comments in one of them articles was how we had infiltrated the Melbourne Freedom Day rally. So I posted the article in the group and I asked anybody if they felt like we had infiltrated, if the Proud Boys had infiltrated that group. Everyone responded no. Multiple, like everybody said no. Actually, that's a lie. One person said yes, and actually they actually threw out a pretty funny insult. Can't remember what it was. So I liked it, gave them a thumbs up. That's cool. They're welcome to have their opinion. But everyone else was good. You know, I probably had 10 people say, "We're glad you're here." You know, we're part of the community. Like I said the other day on Dusty's program and in my own video, we're part of the community. We're not going anywhere. These Antifa members are not part of the community. No one knows who they are. If they were part of the community, they might get some support, but they're not, so they won't. It's, you know, it's just the way it is.
There is a diversity of political opinion on other issues in the anti-lockdown, pro-freedom movement. I know the group, you'd say the sort of right-wing pro-freedom group in Victoria is Melbourne Freedom Day rally. Then there's one which it has a more leftist hippie worldview. That's Convoy Liberation. For example, they participated in the Invasion Day rally. One of the leaders of Convoy Liberation, which like they want freedom and don't want any more lockdowns. So I'm cool with that difference of opinion.
Yeah, well, so I don't think that I have as different as opinion as a lot of these lefties, as some of them seem to think. I don't think that most right wingers do. I think that this division is bullshit, and that if we actually got to speak, we would find we have a lot more in common than what we don't. The establishment wants us to be at each other. You know, they want this division between us. It creates opportunity for them to do things like try to reach out and label Proud Boys as a terrorist group. Now, everyone needs to stop saying that because that's not even fucking true. So the SBS ran a story. They used me as the picture. You know, I ran an SBS Proud Boys.
Yeah, we went through that last week.
But when we seen that they were, you know, what was actually handed down by the report, the Proud Boys were scrapped from all of that. There was no mention of them in the findings after it's handed down, and they're going through that now. It was just handed down, I think, yesterday, Tim, or today. The actual report was handed in, and Proud Boys have been removed. Their name has been taken out. You know, so
which report are you referring to?
The report into right-wing terrorism in Australia, or right-wing extremism. Sorry, they just done I don't know what they call them, but they just done a big report into it over the last 2 weeks, which is why they you know. Granted, the timing of my my video was perfect for them to run with for the news because it was in the middle of this inquiry, so it gave them some more ammunition. But I didn't break any laws. I wasn't aggressive, but you know, so it really gave them nothing in the end. They tried to make something out of nothing, which didn't work. So, you know, and the findings have been handed down, and it'll come out that the Proud Boys will not be named a terrorist group in Australia because we're not terrorists. You know, you can't just name people terrorists. You know what I mean? These people that, you know, they think that they're going to get us out of our businesses and shit. You can't do that. We have contracts that can't be broken just because you motherfuckers dox us. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I noticed that these media outlets, when they're trying to smear Proud Boys, it's always the three people: Slack Bastard, Cass Ross, and Greg Barton. Slack Bastard, he has the biggest hard-on for you at the moment, you'd say. He's constantly posting about you.
That's okay, because we're close. We're real close. So that's okay. Let him keep posting. Like, you know, he's managed to stay hidden for a long time, but, you know, no one hides for everywhere, ever, and everyone makes mistakes. You know, his time will come. Whether it's now, whether it's later, his time will come. You know, he knows that the web's closing in, you know. So once, you know, he would be better coming out and having a conversation, because if he gets bored undone the bad, you know, people have been looking for that man for a long time. You know, why doesn't he come on and just talk to us? That would be the
Who are we talking
about? Slack Bastard.
Oh, people are going to say Slack Bastard itself is like a blog. It's like you got the blog Slack Bastard, which is run by multiple people, and then you have the identity of Andy Fleming. So the blog itself, we already know who run that. You know, Dave Freegan is one example. He hosts it, and a few others. But Andy Fleming, I'm pretty much sure he's retired at the moment. But if you find out who he is, that will unlock a lot of stuff. So good luck in your endeavours, mate.
Yeah, there's no doubt that we'll find him. So it's just a matter of time. You know, everybody makes mistakes. That's the thing. We don't hide, so anybody can find us because I've just told you how to find me. Find me on Telegram. Hit me up. But you know, these people that are hiding for a reason. I mean, masterminds hide their identity. It's something that's well known. A lot of geniuses hide their identity. I don't think that's the case with this one. He's not hiding his identity because he's a mastermind. He's hiding his identity because he's scared, and he doesn't want to be found out. So, you know, when that day comes, he'll have to lay in the bed that he made.
Though David Clarkson has always hidden his identity. He's the person on you'd say the Patriot side who goes after the Antifa trolls. They've been trying to unmask David Clarkson for years. They've accused various people, even taken them to court, but still haven't definitively pinpointed somebody.
See, the thing with these motherfuckers is they don't expect. They're like, I'm not going to sit here and talk when I find it. I'm going to go see people directly. I'm allowed to do that. It's not against the law. I'm allowed to have a conversation with anyone I want to. So that's what I intend to do. You will see me in person, people. Keep talking shit online. You will see me in person. I'm not going to hurt anybody. That's not my intention. But, we'll record our conversation. Let's just talk. We'll put it all out in the fucking open.
Yeah, but are you going to hurt them emotionally, though? If you that's terrorism to them,
Yeah.
If you're going to put them on the spot and hurt their insides,
I may agree with them a little bit. But that'll be it. I spoke to someone today. I'm not going to mention their name at this stage, but we had a polite conversation. So it can be done. And he was, he's a lefty. Let's just say he's a lefty. We had a fine conversation. I rang him up. I was nice. I was polite. You head of the top folks in Antifa. They know who I spoke to today. He's there. He's right up there. So, like I said, we'll find shit. It's not hard to do, but we'll come politely because that's what we do. I'm not here to I'm not playing this shtick of I want to cause more division between the left and right. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not what I believe needs to be done. I believe there needs to be reconciliation between people. That's more important. More importantly, we find our common ground instead of concentrating on our differences. Until they're willing to front me and talk to me, how can I do that? You know what I mean? So they keep throwing all these things at me that aren't true. All I'm trying to do is have a conversation. That's what I wanted to do with Jack Banks, have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, what's your fucking issues? Let's talk them through. So, and until that time comes, I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to stop talking, and I'm not going to, I'm not going to back down just because you say something that might hurt my feelings. My feelings are fucking, they're not that soft. I'm a man. In 10 years from now, Tim, all that's going to matter is it's going to be me and my wife and my kids. This shit won't matter. You know what I mean? This is a little bit of time for now. I know that. They know that, but,
The reason why they are attempting this with you is because they have had success in breaking people in the past. Some people just can't handle that sort of pressure. And so since you're relatively new to, or you would say, the political sphere, they're trying to see if they can make you disappear by putting all this media scrutiny on you and your businesses. And I noticed that they did this during the beginning of the pandemic and the lockdowns, when the 99% Unite people emerged, Fanos Paniides and Rafael Fernandez. They did media hit pieces on them. Obviously Nick Patterson as well, Eve Black as well, to try and see would they crack.
Yeah, and look, that it's all fun and games until someone does it to them. It's easy to sit behind their screen and do it. That's what I mean. They're not expecting someone real. They're not expecting people to confront them. But there's real people out there. People will confront you. It's not just me. There's a whole heap of people that are like me. We're not keyboard warriors. We're not going to sit there and just debate back and forth bullshit, because that gets nobody anywhere.
But that's what they want. They want to bog you down by saying, "Oh, this part of your argument, there's a hole in there. Oh, you misspelt this in a Facebook comment." That's the sort of thing they want to bog you down on.
That's not going to bog me down, brother. I don't have time for it or headspace, so I'm not going to entertain it. It's you know, they can say what they want and do what they want. Most of it goes straight past me. I don't have a phone. I don't watch TV, and I don't give a fuck what they say. So, you know, they can keep writing their pieces if that's what, you know, if they want to try to use that as their clickbait to sell a few papers. All they're trying to do is use the name Proud Boys to sell an image, use a tattooed face to sell an image. You know, they're just going for clicks because that's all they have. But you know, sometime someone's going to have to be held accountable for it. When that day comes, the world will see. You know, and it should be fun.
I've taken a bit of a detox from social media and the 24-hour news cycle with this latest lockdown, because it's just I think it's enough now, because it's clear that we're obviously just going to be in this sort of cycle. We had, what is it, in Australia today, the first Pfizer vaccine touchdown in Australia. And there was the 9 news cameras. They were on the tarmac.
Yeah, I see it.
Now it has to be stored at minus 70 degrees Celsius. So that must be some really cold. Doesn't look like it's some cryogenically frozen vaccine.
No, it's not good, mate. It's really not good.
You just sort of wonder, what if they spilt it or something? Like there'd be like lots of people like, no.
I don't think it would matter. How many million did we work out they had bought? They drop a fucking couple containers, not going to do much.
Yeah, so it's been shipped to a mystery location where the therapeutic goods.
I just took the vaccine.
the Pfizer vaccine.
Everyone's feeling spastic.
And
you want to say that, or you get there?
Spastic. The word
they're all going spastic. They get like
I don't think they like spastic.
Yeah, that's a politically incorrect word.
I think you're supposed to use
retard. Lame. Dark and lame.
Retard's the one I think that they're supposed to use now. Is that right? Retard?
No, that's a mental impairment.
Oh.
So retard's okay now, yeah?
No, monga. That's the word. Monga.
Mental retardation is an actual medical term, but it's turned into a, what do you say, slang, offensive term, retard.
What's the offensive term for trans and shit? Like, because I want to know what I shouldn't say in public.
Well, you just said trans. That's fine. You can say trans.
What are the words? What are the words, Jarrad?
He bitch.
Man pussy.
Man pussy. She-male's one.
She-male is she-male is used to describe, what is it, trans or male to female trans porn. She-male
what do
is
you call the trans who has their junk and then one that doesn't have their junk? Are they both called trans?
Well, the full term is there's a pre-op transsexual or pre-op transgender and post-op transgender.
So you say, "Hello, nice to meet you, pre-op transgender."
Yes, they're the male to female trans who has a penis.
Can you say you didn't have the balls to cut them off?
They might get the joke.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get Tim's show banned. Yeah. I'm just joking. But trans people are weird. They're weird people. Don't you reckon?
I know a few trans people. Some are pretty normal. Some have issues.
They're mental, but
I think that's a generalization. They've got the
so
what is it?
You're telling me a normal person wakes up in the morning and says, "I'm going to cut my Johnson off." They're normal?
Yeah, well, trans are like, what is it? They say they're 0.03% of the population. So they're unordinary.
Don't over 50% kill himself after they've had the operation?
There is
In
such a
America,
thing
I
as
know something like
post surgery depression.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate thing.
So it's like
but-
postnatal.
That's a hell of a decision to regret. So it doesn't get any bigger than that.
Like they must just like regret cutting off their thing.
I'm
Can
not sure if
they
it's
reverse it? If they cut it off and do they store it in a freezer for them?
No.
Is it like a 48-hour cooling down period?
It's not like Mr. Garrison on South Park. Well, what is it? He grows his new penis on a mouse. Like they use human cells. Yeah.
I haven't watched enough South Park for a while. I need to get back into that.
They did a.
No,
they
I'm
only did
pretty sure it's cut now. South Park.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's like it used to be.
Oh, they did a 2-part, just 2 episodes last year. The pandemic special. With what is it? Detective Yates is the COVID sergeant, and what is it? They just like gun people down with tanks who are outside.
Yeah, I'll have to tune in. I haven't seen it. That used to be, mate, when we were 13, that was the best show. That was so good. We all had.
Yeah, South Park was pretty good, and Ren and Stimpy was pretty good too.
Yeah. We used to have a Cartman t-shirt, wore it everywhere.
I've still got some South Park pajamas.
Old school ones,
That's fucking weird, man.
Tim, why did you have to get weird for, man? We're having a nice conversation.
We're talking about like normal discussion about trans issues and shit. This guy tells us he's wearing a Cartman fucking jumpsuit when he goes to bed.
I just said I have like from years back South Park pajamas. That's how
too much information, Tim, man. Come on. Keep the conversation above crass.
Whatever. Anyway,
hey, Tim, what's going on? What are you doing?
Well, I was going to say something.
What's on the list of what we're talking about and shit?
So I was going to say something else about what is it? The vaccines and that. Oh yeah, what is it? Lee Sales of 7:30 this week. She's interviewing Bill Gates on her program. She's actually trapped in Melbourne because she came down on Friday for a friend's birthday party and got trapped in the lockdown. Twitter is very angry with her today because she went to Dan Andrews' press conference and asked him a critical question.
How dare she?
Yeah. But it's worth watching Bill Gates being interviewed by journalists and see what he says.
He says some outrageous shit that they skim over. Yeah,
who's Bill Gates?
He's motherfucking killing everyone.
He founded Microsoft, co-founder of Microsoft.
Oh yeah. So what does he have to do with like medical advice and shit? Like,
because he's a philanthropist now. He's retired from the Microsoft organization.
So he invented a computer and shit. So now he can tell you to inject your kids with some vaccine.
Well, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Don't you usually have to go to university and study? Like,
well, he probably listens to health advice like Dan says he does. He has
he specializes in killing African kids. That's he's got
that's the allegation.
Yeah, good. What
did he do?
He sold a heap of fucking bad batches of vaccines to Africa, and thousands and thousands of them died. He, of course, the company was sued and no one was held accountable because it's a company. So that's what happens. But he definitely got to kill kids.
Like he's okay, but if you dare go to someone's workplace, Jarrad, you're a total piece of shit.
I know.
You can murder and kill a bunch of African kids. It's totally kosher.
Man, did you see that Black Lives Matter's getting fucking nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah, that's
killing people.
I don't know how does a movement like a person, but how does a movement get nominated for the Peace Prize? Has that ever been done before?
Well, they started giving out a Logie Hall of Fame awards to TV shows, not individual people. So I suppose you can do it with the Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, Obama got one after he bombed the shit out of like Middle Eastern kids. And
No,
shit.
it was before. He got it just by being elected president.
Well,
that's
Yasser
true.
Arafat got it after bombing people. Yasser Arafat, when he got the Nobel Peace Prize, he held the record for the most people killed in a hijacked airplane.
Yeah.
So,
And what was that? Henry Kissinger and the North Vietnamese leader, they got the Nobel Peace Prize for the peace accords after they'd been at war for like 10 years.
yeah,
So
I
it's
think
like so it's like you can kill 1,000 people a day, but if you pick one day out of the month not to kill someone, you get the peace award. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically, hey, encouragement award. We'll give you this award, so we hope you don't kill again.
I think it is. I think it's really just for who can kill the most people in a year, and they just call it a peace award. It's just a big slap in the fucking face.
So it's like the Guinness World Records in killing.
Yeah, basically.
The United States military-industrial complex is mostly peaceful.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what they say in the Middle East.
Look, I'm getting pretty black-pilled lately, man. Like, is there any hope for us? Like, it doesn't matter what the left do. The left do whatever they want. They can basically go without being, the media can't be critical of the left. They can do what they want. As soon as, like, you do something, 1% of what they do, you're just, like, absolutely wrecked on, yeah? And this has been going for the last 20 or 30 years. So how do you see us actually winning by playing by their rules?
Well, we've got, don't forget now, the pandemic has added another layer that if you advocate freedom, then you're a conspiracy theorist, sovereign citizen. And the overwhelming majority of Australians, they support the lockdowns. They're scared of the coronavirus. They re-elect lockdown governments. They can't wait to get the vaccines next week. What it was at the front of the Herald Sun today was call to arms, as in call to arms, like put the needle in your arm.
Yeah,
seriously, like 80% of the population are like mentally retarded.
Yeah, close to. And I think you're starting. Like I'm starting to feel. I don't know if we can save. Like I don't know if we can save anybody. It's part.
No,
like,
let's just make it as hard as possible for them. But I think we're going to lose because the left are winning. They're winning like every single battle. They steal the election in America. You know, Trump loses the election due to voter fraud. 100% happened. Tim's probably going to get the shit, but it did. So they can steal elections. And this is the other thing, because I argue with people about this all the time, because I'm kind of out of politics. I have phone calls with people and talk, etc. And some people keep calling me out and saying, "Oh, did you see Fox News? Trump, he won his impeachment, or this lawyer had a good argument." And I said, "Oh, but it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's like red meat. It's irrelevant. Are they doing anything?" For the past like 30 years or 40 years, the Conservatives, have we actually implemented anything, conserving anything? No.
They haven't conserved anything.
We haven't. We've been on defense for 30 years, yeah? Like, if you legit think about it, like, where's the line that's going to be drawn before you're like, and I'm not talking about terrorism and stuff like that, don't get me wrong, before someone misquotes me, but in America, they have safety nets in their constitution. So if the government, because it's a union between the states, yeah? So Texas, California, etc. So they've all signed a contract that they're going to follow this rule and they're going to go ahead and have a country united. What happens when, they, steal an election and there's proof? And what are they going to do then? Are they going to do anything? No, they're just, Conservatives just complain every day on Fox News and do nothing. Like, there's literally things you can do written in the Constitution, and I'm not talking about violent uprising. I'm talking about succeeding from the country. So all these Conservatives, Sky News, and it's in Australia as well, they're all controlled opposition. They're not doing anything. They sit there and bitch, and then they tell you, "Oh, look how bad it is," and then you. I'm not blaming you, Tim, but I'm just saying, like, you would report on what they're saying. This is bad, but what does it ever do? Like, is it not hard to be black-pilled these days? Like,
well, the thing is that governments have been breaking their constitutions for many years, and the highest court in the lands have said that's okay. This is the thing as well.
You know what? Because these boomers vote for these fake Conservatives.
Oh, and it's the government that appoints the justices. Justices as well, and they have their legal philosophy, and they don't want to rock the boat too much by invalidating a huge government initiative.
Dude, where's the line drawn though? Where's the line drawn where you say that's enough? All right, so they're taking away your rights. They're ripping you off. They're stealing elections. That's bad enough. Where's the line? The line should have been when they started killing babies en masse. But that line's been crossed. Gay marriage, that's being crossed. You know, trans adoption, that's being crossed. Like, the churches are all fucked too. Like,
we're
really,
at child drag story time now. That's where we're at now.
Yeah. So where's the line? We might as well fucking just let them, do whatever they want. Like, because no one's going to give a shit. And it sounds depressing, but it's true. No one really gives a fuck.
There is no line. They're trying to call pedophilia a fucking sexual orientation now. Like, they're trying to normalize.
Well, where do you think it's going to go?
And where do you think it's going to go, bro? It's not going.
It's going to go totally to Sodom and Gomorrah. It's going to go to like. It's just going to go to insane, like Rome when Rome fell. The thing is, eventually it's going to end. But the thing is, you have these people who proclaim to be conservative, like the Liberal Party. They haven't implemented anything to prevent any of this happening. They just sit there playing tennis and patting the Democrats on the back or patting the Labor on the back. Like, they're all mates, mate. It's all WWE. And I'm not trying to be too harsh on boomers and shit, but these boomers hear an interview on Sky News from some conservative candidate. Oh, it's so great he said this. Yeah, but he's not going to do shit. He's not going to do shit, man, because they're all like, they're looking after their own selves.
And these two-party systems, or three-party, whatever the fuck they are, it's all the same beast. Like you said, it's there's a corporate overlord for all of them. So it doesn't matter which way they get to the end game. They've all got the same end game in plan. Some are appealing to the conservatives, some are appealing to the Greens, some are appealing to the lefties and the liberals.
The problem is the ones appealing to the left and Greens, they have total control. They have control of the media, government, everything. So they win. Yeah. They win without even showing up to work, bro. That's how easy it is.
It's the same team. The conservatives, like you said, the fake conservatives have the same agenda anyway. It's all, and it's not even that they're all part of the globalist. Like, they're not all globalists, and a lot of them that are perpetuating the globalist agenda don't even realize what they're doing. They're getting paid.
They would refer to themselves as. Yeah, they would refer to themselves as internationalists. Like, they want to spread liberal democratic values all around the world, but they're still thinking in this process that there needs to be some a global conformity between the nations as well. And that's when you get into, it's not each country live and let live anymore. It's that we need to impose our values on other countries, which is how you get to all these Middle Eastern wars and other things.
So what's the plan of attack when they just start saying Jarrad's a terrorist or Proud Boys are terrorists, which they basically are going to do? So what do we do then? Do we just denounce
if we go by track history, that's exactly what they'll do. They'll just, mate, when Neil, how many people threw you under the bus? How many stuck loyal? When the pressure's on, that's what they'll do. They'll throw me under the bus because that's what they do, And there's very few men like us out there. And Tim, you're the same. You're a man like us. You're fucking, regardless of what anyone says about you, you will not break, mate. You're fucking staunch. You've stood through the fire for as long as Neil. And you're still here and you're still fighting strong.
You should hear Tim's speeches at the meetings we have once a month. He goes right off, man. He goes nuts.
I was that Tim. I didn't know it was Tim, man, because with the bloody hood on.
He wears a mask. He's like he's our secret weapon, mate.
Good one.
He's like, we must control.
Well, I've been busy reading this book recently. That's what I've been doing. The COVID-19, the Great Reset by Klaus Schwab. He's the guy, the World Economic Forum. And
sorry to have a go at you, mate. They're ripping you off, these grifters. These right-wing dudes. Every single right-wing contributor in America is selling a fucking book, man.
No, this isn't a book by a conservative. This is one by a globalist. So Klaus Schwab runs there.
Saying that, watch out for mine and Neil's book coming out soon.
What's that? The Great Rewind.
What the fuck is that?
Well, that's my walking stick, man.
Oh, I thought it was a fucking sword or something. I thought-
Yeah. It's gonna be screen. It's gonna be
Oh, yeah, so
screenshot.
you just pop it out when you leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
I
I'm
think-
walking up the hills and that, you know,
Yeah,
I need to. It's a
I
bad
think-
hit, bro.
I think Waleed, Carrie, and Tracy have left. We didn't see Peter Hillier didn't join. I thought we were going to get the project.
Hey, I used to know. Hey, we used to know Peter Hallier. Do you remember Jarrad?
Yeah.
We used to see him all the time. And He was actually all right and shit, and then he just turned into an absolute cuck.
Man, since the project got him.
Yeah.
As,
Well,
again,
they-
it's what people-
You got that other dude, Steve Price.
it's what-
Just give me a second, Tim. I just want to explain this. Steve Price, yeah, total conservative, yeah. He's basically a puppet. He's put onto the project to be the whipping boy. So if they have a conservative argument, they'll have him on representing us, and then Carrie Bickmore will say something smart ass to him, and he'll just put his head down, and they win the argument. It's total puppet.
Yeah. Oh, because Steve Price, he has this persona as just being this grumpy old boomer, and so he's easy to mock. Oh, just ignore Steve. He's just this, ggrumpy old man.
Yeah,
Oh, look at him.
Yeah.
But Dave Hughes was one of the original project hosts. He's left now, but he's like basically become full red pilled now because he's been going off at Dan and his failures for the whole of 2020. And of course, he was known as a real lefty on the project, but he's gone back to his, you'd say, working class roots now and is thinking critically. Hughesy, as he's known.
I don't have much faith. Unless you've been fully red pilled on everything, it's just a waste of time because they're just going to revert back to normality. It's these boomers, Tim. These boomers are ruining everything. These friggin' boomers liking Facebook videos and shit.
And again, it's money. As soon as he's out of work and they offer him a good job, oh look, we'll give you this job, we'll pay you this much, but you need to fucking rein in that critical thinking that you're doing.
Yeah, that free speech.
Yeah,
because what is it?
Israel
Folau's not allowed to play rugby unless he's gagged on social media.
He cut as well. He should have kept taking that case forward. You got offered donations. How much did he get? Like 10 million or 20 million?
2 million.
2 million. And then he cuts. He makes a deal with them. The whole point people giving him money was to fight it and test that law, to protect religious people. But instead, he cut out and ran off with the cash.
Yeah.
Everyone's weak, man. Sorry if I'm coming off like a defeatist, but yeah, it's the only people who give me inspiration are people like Jarrad who do things,
I want to talk more. Yeah, I want to talk more about this book because it's quite interesting what I've read so far. They basically argue that plagues and pandemics, they've throughout history, they've actually led to ultimate improvements in society and more progress as well. Like they say they claim the Spanish flu pandemic helped women's suffrage, which that's new to me, and that pandemics they lead to the fall of bad empires as well. So basically, the book argues that a pandemic will see a better world order come through.
When was this book written? Obviously, recently.
June 2020.
Ah, yeah. I'll have to have a look at it. You have to send it through, and once you finish reading, I've started reading again. So it's
You got the bookshelf behind me, like me.
Yeah. Did you get that book, Blair? Say
Who, me?
Yeah. Did you get that book, that Blair? Say
Not yet. Nah.
No. I think you said you were.
Okay, you might have to send it again. I did get a weird USB. I don't know if I spoke about this on here or not, but I had a weird USB sent to a location that I was working out of at the time, and I didn't know it was. Who was it from? Fuck. I never heard of this group. I tried to look for it. Jimmy just left. I'll ask him when he gets back. But it was so I opened it up. There was a DVD case, nothing in there, addressed to me, child is right, and I thought, it was, and I opened it, and there's a USB taped in there. And I
would have thrown it out instantly.
Yeah, well, I didn't because I was too curious. So I gave it to a mate of mine to have a look what was on there, and he went and had a look, and it was all these docos, all these weird docos on. I think they were like like Hitler docos and shit like that. Like there was Jewish docos and all sorts
well,
of
you can
shit,
just
man.
go on BitChute if you wanted to watch those. This guy is quite weird, like sending it on. What is that? A
Oh, man,
USB?
There was
Did
so
it
much.
have the Eternal Jew on there? The Eternal Jew?
I don't know. I gave it to another mate of mine to watch and tell me if it was any good or not. I don't have time, man. So a mate of mine's going to watch it and let me know if it's worth it. But whoever had done it had put a lot of work on. So thank you. But you know, that was
When did
weird.
this get
So
sent? When did this get sent? When you made it into the media? Did someone send it to you?
no, someone sent it to me a couple of weeks ago. They sent it to the gym. Yeah. So yeah, it's I just gave it away. So thank you for the thought. I know whoever it was went to great effort trying to educate me on something. If I had time, I may have watched it, but I don't, so I won't. But yeah, thanks.
And also the elaborate, you would say, sending of it, like that's old school, basically. Like, well, like dropping off brown paper bags and that sort of thing, like real sort of old school. So it's like untraceable.
Yeah. It was like the writing was like sorry, no disrespect, but the writing was like a child. So it was
maybe it was
bad,
deliberate like that. They wrote with their left hand, and
They
so
could've.
they did it.
It didn't instill a lot of confidence in me, but when I looked at it, I was like, oh, this looks cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that shit. Probably some good docos would have been on it and shit.
Yeah, that's why I gave it to him.
You know what I miss on YouTube and shit? Like, YouTube used to be cool. You could find, like, all these cool docos. You didn't even have to believe a lot of it, yeah? Like, 9/11 and shit. I used to watch a lot of them docos. And,
remember when Michael Moore was okay? Fahrenheit 9/11, when that came out?
He's still okay. He's sort of.
Is he? I don't know. I've
Like Planet of the Humans, his latest document. Or he was a producer of it. Basically, the green energy scam. It's basically by these vulture capitalists trying to hijack the environmental climate change movement, which is what's happening. There's so much money to be made in clean green energy by. Like we see all these corporations now claiming to be into renewables. Like, what is it? ANZ claim they're not going to lend to coal anymore. So he was absolutely spot on in that regard. But YouTube took the documentary down because they found like a split second of copyrighted music on it.
Yeah, that's how they get it. And that's how Victorian law and Australian law and American law all work. They have so many laws where everyone can't exist in society without breaking a law. This is how they do it, yeah? And then they pick who they want to charge. So it's like everyone jaywalks, yeah, 100%. Someone's crossed the road. But that's just like a small example. But they set the system up so you basically can't do anything. Well, everyone has kind of broken the law, but they only go after the person that's been most like against the state. They'll just go after you, you know?
Yeah,
that's why this video got taken down. So everyone breaches copyright, but it's just, let's pick him.
We've got
they stole a couple of mine and Proud of Your Hunter Hillbilly, Kenny. Everybody knows Kenny. If you don't like and sub to his channel, but they stole a couple of our videos. Like Antifa just reported our videos, had them pulled down, stole the motherfuckers, and then reposted them himself. You know, so they're gone from our channels, but they're up on theirs. I don't even how they can fucking do that, but that's what they've done. So
yeah, I seen a comment on this stream which is actually quite perfect. It's like some people are making the mistake thinking that the left aren't psychopaths. Like, these people are psychopaths. They don't go by any sort of rules or anything. They'll do anything to shut you down. So sitting there, they do this, they do that all the time. They don't care, you know?
Yeah. They have to be psychopaths to be that fucking stupid.
If they just want to win, they'll do anything. We should be doing what they're doing, you know? Instead, we've got morals and shit.
Oh, well, hang on. Yasmin Abdel-Magid, she left the country because she couldn't handle the criticism.
That's what she said.
And Adam Goods quit AFL because he couldn't handle the booing.
Oh, do you want to talk about that Collingwood O'Brien?
If he had stopped bitching that dude, no one would have booed at it. The only
what is it? Yeah. You mean Harriet Lumumba? Don't dead name him.
Oh, the chimp. Hey, he was in primary school. That was his nickname in primary school, the chimp, or high school. And then he left. He did an interview. I don't know if you spoke about this already on the show, but he did an interview with a magazine many years ago. They said, "What is your nickname, O'Brien?" He said, "The chimp." It's his
what's your
nickname.
favourite
He
nickname?
brought it into Collingwood. And then he
Yeah.
complains after he leaves, my nickname was the Chief, they're all racist.
Yeah, what are some of your favourite nicknames? I asked him, and he said the Chip.
Yeah, exactly. His
Yeah,
favourite.
like if
Yeah,
it's so traumatic for you, then why did you like volunteer it in a fluff piece?
It's something weird in this culture. Remember when we were young, Neil? Like what we wanted to be was a man. That's who we looked up to, men. You know, to be strong was cool. Now to be a victim is cool. That people get fucking a pat on the back for being a victim. Like what?
They get a
Why?
punishment.
Yeah. What happened
Like
to-
we could all make
You know?
so good livings by being professional victims about something. Like it's a lucrative industry. Like it's easy to choose the golden woke road.
Yeah, well, it's just another form of cucking out, really, isn't it? 'Cause, you know, they're doing it for a bit of acknowledgement, for a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Why does anyone need a pat on the back? Just be happy with who you
They're
are.
weak.
You know?
They're weak.
Yeah.
But you know what the left are? The left, it's like a disease. It's a bit catching on. It's so much easier being a Karen and being a victim. But it's from, and I truly believe this, most politicians were all bagged out in school. Like, you can tell, like, and I'm not trying to be mean about it, but they're not the greatest looking people. And I think a lot of people have already said that on right and left. Politicians are not the most good looking people. And I think a lot of them are, you know, bullied in school. You know, the old story about, you know, people in school got bullied and become cops so they can bully other people. That's what politicians are. And the left are that as well. But the problem is that they've got so much numbers, you know, it's like the retards all get together in a group of 100 and they chase you by yourself down the road. You know, that's where they get their power from. It's like they're being bullied and they're going to bully you.
Well, their networks are a lot closer than ours. So we're like our networks aren't as close at the moment. But, you know, that will change eventually. Like you were saying before.
Because we'll start a group, Jarrad. We'll start like a little collective. We'll go into the forest, we'll live there, and then we'll have a Waco times 2. The government will come in with tanks and burn us down. And we can't win. This is the thing. We're going to be destroyed by all.
They'll declare you're a terrorist group, like any
terrorist cell meeting in the forest.
Yeah, any new group that's out in the wilderness, they'll say terrorist entity.
Well, what were they doing with that Christian church? What was it in Eltham? Was it Eltham?
No,
was it the Christian church?
The one that Avey went to?
King Lake. No, there was like a compound out there, and a current affair done a big show about it, and they were talking about how extreme they were. They're hiding in the forest. They're just a bunch of Christians that wanted to be away from society. So it happens like that, bro. This is the thing. Yeah. You can't win because if you say something publicly like you're doing now, Jarrad, they'll just attack you. And if you go away and try and do it privately, they'll attack you because what's he doing in the forest, you know, or in that compound and shit. So
he'd be by himself.
We've got a question. We've got a question over on Entropy from Savage Nobles and Merry Peasants. How about left-wing terrorism? Well, in the city of Portland, Oregon, left-wing terrorism happens every night. I'm surprised that Antifa hasn't. Like, it seems on fire every night, Portland. I'm surprised there's still buildings there now. It's sort of like Baghdad.
But what are you going to do, Tim? What are you going to do? You get the Conservatives to talk about left-wing terrorism. It's not going to get anywhere. The Liberals will vote against it. If you say, oh, the lefties, what they did, they're terrorists, and they'll say, yes, this is very bad, but then the Liberals will just cuck, or the Republicans will just cuck, and there'll be no law made to stop them. This is the thing.
But the thing that like the Democrats are finding out now that they've got power back is that Antifa isn't going to stop until there's full communism. So the mayor of Portland, Ted Wheeler, ever since they firebombed his house, Antifa is like, right, we're cracking down. Now, there's going to be basically you'd say a silent purge from the Democrat-controlled government institutions on these left-wing extremists, because like Black Lives Matter only flares up every 4 years when it's an election year.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much. Someone in the chat said, why aren't you talking? I'm trying to be polite and shit. I'll just rage.
Oh, man, you can never talk too much on this podcast. You know that, man. Fuck, you know. Yeah, I can't remember what I was saying now.
About Black Lives Matter, I think it was. Doing something every election year, which is true.
Yeah, like
So was there I don't remember it because obviously I wasn't politically active back then, but was there this much division between right and left before Trump, or is from what I can tell?
Yeah.
It's been going since the 60s, 50s and 60s, 100%.
So this is my bad, or?
Yeah, I think it was just as bad. It's just that we've got more internet access. And the thing is, we've been playing the same game since the 50s and 60s, man. Since Russia and all that shit. We've been playing this game right up until today. This is why, no offense, Tim, but I grow tired of complaining. I really do. I don't have the stomach for it anymore because complaining doesn't really do anything. What Jarrad's doing is good. He's getting out there. He's causing some waves. But I don't know, this Fox News, the left does this and the right does this. It's irrelevant because the left can do it and the right can't.
It's news entertainment. That's what it is.
It's red meat.
Yeah, it's aimed at the layperson. It's like, look what's happening here, aren't you? You should be outraged about this.
Yeah, look, they've aborted 1 million babies today, and then, oh, that's bad, Sharon, the guy in the kitchen and shit. Oh, hang on, let's see the footy. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter. If you really give a fuck.
And it's the same with a lot of these lobby groups with never achieve anything. It's like, oh, did you hear about this? You've got to give us money to fight this. This is it's going to be the end of society if this passes. This is what their emails all are, and they don't end up achieving much, but they continue to just ask you for donations to fight this because this is the fight of our lifetime.
Yeah, everything's the fight of our lifetime, except for the real fights of our lifetime. That's
no, it's the fight of the lifetime. It's the fight of our lifetimes until you lose, and then there's the next fight of our lifetimes.
Right, well, it's the same as cancer. Look at how much money comes in yearly for billions of dollars comes in cancer grants and donation every year. You know what I think the cure for cancer is? No fucking chemotherapy. That's
I agree.
Yeah, go out and change your diet, change your lifestyle, get some exercise, shit like that. That's what helps, getting away from all these chemicals we use and eating more natural foods and stopping to use these petrochemicals that we put on our skin fucking daily. That's what helps, that not going out and fucking poisoning yourself with chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is going to kill you. That's exactly what it does. But they perpetuate this image of we're going to cure cancer this way when really it's something that is caused by carcinogenics. The way to fix it is through natural remedies. It's but then they're not going to.
It's like when elderly people die in the hospital. It's this big myth, yeah. That they passed away, they're so peaceful. That's because the nurses are pumping them full of morphine. They're putting them to sleep, bro. They're killing people. Yeah. Like people don't know that, yeah. They think, oh, my grandmother passed away. Yeah, she did. It was peaceful because she was fucking high, and that's probably what killed her. The morphine. They do that all the time, and it's the same with Yeah, they do it to everyone's grandparents. And they're look, gosh, she passed away. Yeah, that's because the doctor's stuffing her full of morphine. The same with chemotherapy. That was used in extreme cases. It was very rare. It's like if you had cancer all through your body, they'll just bang, it's the last resort. We'll give it to. Now it seems to be, I'm not a doctor, I don't know if I could be wrong, but now it seems like they're doing it just sporadically, like chemo. When someone's got a little cancer that maybe they could fight off or get an operation on.
Yeah.
Over in there.
Oh, sorry, Tim, go.
Yeah, over in the UK, with apparently, even though they've been in lockdown, since Christmas, there's still old people dying of COVID. What's actually happening is old people are going to hospital because they're sick, going to the NHS hospitals, then getting COVID from the hospitals, because if you put a whole bunch of sick people together, what do you think's going to happen? And that's why there's still COVID deaths there, even though the UK has been vaccinating people since December.
And I bet you everyone looks like this when they're walking down the street.
I got a good mate who's going to come on a podcast in the next few weeks. He's the Indian fella for all you fucking people that call me a racist. You wait till I have my Indian friend on. But he's a scientist and he works on curing diseases, and he has for years now. His old man has been the head of a science lab. I won't say too much. He can talk about this all himself, but he wrote a paper for his grandma who had cancer. She lived in America. All his family's doctors right throughout. And he wrote a paper that he gave to his auntie in America, who's the head of a hospital over there, for his nan. And it was about cancer and what they should do, because they were going to put her on. And his family were doctors, and they were going to put her onto chemo. And he wrote a thing that I've been trying to get him to publicize I've shared it with lots of people because he told me to share it with whoever I wanted, but he never actually tried to, make it public. It's only 18, 20 pages, but, oxygen supplements is one of the major things that he recommends. He says that no virus or no disease, can live in an oxygenated state. Oxygen supplements, and there's a couple others that I'd have to check, but very, very interesting when the scientists, like he's actually at the moment, he's working on a letter. He's one of hundreds of doctors that are working on a letter for the COVID vaccine objection, and they're hoping to get that into the government soon. But he'll come on and talk about it himself. But it's
when's this? When's he coming on? Well, what show is this? Is this a new show?
Yeah, look, we haven't discussed when he'll come on yet. He's pretty open, and he'll come on whenever. So,
is this going to be called Indian and the Brain, or Indian and the Brawler?
Well, we'll see. He might come on with me and Tim. Yeah, I haven't discussed that with Tim, but yeah, he's definitely interesting. He's got a lot of good information. But
hey, what do you think's in the vaccines, Jarrad?
What do I think
it's going to do to us? What do you think it's going to do?
Man, I think it's going to cause autoimmune diseases. And I think, look, if they kill everybody with a vaccine straight away, no one's going to take the vaccine. So they can't give people something that's going to kill lots of people. It's going to be a Trojan horse. So I think it's laced with nanotechnologies that are changing the proteins in our body, making us, giving us autoimmune diseases. And then you'll find in 2 years people will be dropping dead from a common cold. I think that's what will happen. So I don't think the vaccines will kill people directly.
I was watching the Shah of Iran, one of the religious leaders over there. I believe he had some theories on the COVID vaccine. It was reported in the New York Times and a few other outlets that the COVID vaccine actually turns you gay.
I think you're talking about. I think you're talking about it.
Ayatollah.
Ayatollah. The Shah of Iran. He was.
They turn you into a Tim.
Yeah.
You shouldn't take this.
I've heard that Iranian Ayatollah said that. We will see if that's the case. If there's more basically.
Would you risk it, Jarrad? If there was like a 50-50 chance you may be like into dudes after you take it?
No, I'd rather that than the autoimmune disease, bro. Yeah. If they said, look, either you're going to be into dudes or you're going to be fucking dead. Yeah, I know my pick, bro.
There was a Family Guy episode where Peter, to make money, starts being injected with experimental vaccines, and they inject him with the gay gene to make him gay.
That's fun. Yeah, it's totally so cool.
But it wears off after a few weeks, though.
Didn't Alex Jones say the water was making diseases? Didn't Alex Jones used to claim the water was making everyone gay?
Yeah. No, frogs. No. But also he was always claiming that in the juice boxes, had some sort of a chemical in it. Like he cut open the juice boxes to show that there was estrogen in the juice boxes.
Yeah, and Hungry Jacks either. They've got a bunch of estrogen, but it's only effective on teenagers. Like if you're like 21.
So if a teenager drinks juice boxes, they'll be gay.
100%. I'm telling you, man. Like especially plastic bottles too. There's a type of plastic bottle. I'm serious, man. I see no shit. I seen some dude walk into a shop with his girlfriend, and he drank a bottle of water. He walked out with a dude in his arms. I swear. Hey, I was gonna tell this breaking story the other night when I was on the show, but his internet's broke. It's not mine, and I had to get off. So I got some breaking news. I was going to reveal it the other day. You ready for this?
Ready, man.
You know these new strains of COVID not vaccines, COVID diseases or viruses. There's a new strain in Africa. Yeah, it not only infects you, but it also steals your car. No shit.
Yeah. There was one of the Australian Open tennis players. He left after being knocked out to go to South Africa, and he was diagnosed with COVID over there. It was not sure if he got it like here or whether he got the new African strain when he got back to South Africa.
I think it's all propaganda. I think they're all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they, like, actually, like, if you actually like look at some of the data, it's something like it's marginal. The what is it? The UK strain. It's what is it? 2% more. What is it? South Africa. They've suspended the AstraZeneca vaccine, the one that we're manufacturing here in Melbourne, because they say that it doesn't work on their super strain.
Doesn't work on the African super strain.
Yeah, that's what the South African authorities have claimed.
Isn't it funny that the most aggressive things come from Africa? Like the bees, they're the same type of bee. No, it's facts, it's science.
Yeah. And the pirate, like the fish.
They're more aggressive than the European bees, but they're the same bee. And then now with this COVID disease, it's more aggressive in South Africa.
That's because there's no over there, bro. There's no juice boxes.
There's no juice boxes to calm the males down.
Australia's still got the most venomous snakes on the planet.
What was that, Tim?
Australia's still got the most venomous snakes on the planet.
Yeah, well, at least we got something.
Mm.
and we got crocodiles and shit.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen a crocodile? I've never seen one.
So there's two. There's the saltwater crocodile. That's the killer giant one that weighs like tons. Who
would win in a fight, the saltwater crocodile or the great white shark?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that should be a movie.
It's a wonder it's not.
Yeah.
Jarrad, who would win, you reckon?
Man,
the freshwater crocodile. That's the smaller, less aggressive one. So freshwater crocodile, that's the nice one. But Steve Irwin, when he had his son, what's his son's name again? Bob. Yeah, like he's like a teenager now, Bob. But when he was an infant, Irwin was feeding a saltwater crocodile. Yeah. So
he's totally safe, man. He knows what he's doing. Jesus, he knows how far these crocs can jump. He's having fun, man, with his kid. The media just destroyed him.
But Irwin to make a mistake with animals. Fuck.
No, he never does, man. He's still here to live to tell the story, I actually like that dude. I feel bad making a joke about him. He wasn't political. He was just an animal dude, man.
Yeah. He's a legend, man.
And Bob,
joke about anybody. Fuck me.
Bob's a teenager now. He doesn't seem too traumatized by it. He's with the animals all the time.
Who?
Bob, the son.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, I seen him on the late night show or some shit.
Yeah, he does the circuits and that. I remember Bindia when she got married just before the first lockdown.
She's pretty based, isn't she? Didn't she stand up for like women like not being slutty and shit or something?
I don't know. You wouldn't like that she voted for same-sex marriage and posted her postal.
That's her right to vote for it, but I reckon it was a rip-off vote. I reckon they threw out a lot of votes. I reckon it was fucking fraudulent.
Wait, because they had the what is that technology? Remember the barcode, the barcodes that they had on the voting forms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the controversy with that. I just remember that a bunch of
John Adams, who I had on Wilms Front last week, he wrote to the ABS asking what technology did you use with these electronic barcodes for the marriage law survey, and is it related to any of these other voting companies?
Look, I have no problem with people I've spoke to you personally about this, Tim, many times. I'm a bit of a libertarian, when it comes to freedoms. If you want to be a farfini, do it in your own house. Don't bring it out into public and shit, in front of people. When I walk down the street, I don't want to see a dude and a chick passion on the street. A dude and a chick, that's disgusting. I really don't want to see two dudes passion on the street, and they do it to piss me off. I swear. Because I used to live in South Yarra, I used to walk all around the streets, and they'd see me, they start holding hands. I just walk and just throw up in a bin. But that's the shit that pisses me off. But look, if they wanted to have a partnership and have a paperwork that says they're together, that's fine. But don't take the fucking Christian marriage. Yeah, that's my word on it. Yeah, do your own common law. I'll support it. I'll come to your wedding. Clap and shit. And just don't take...
Does Mike Holt marry homosexual couples?
Yeah, Jarrad.
Mike's in there. I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him for you. But you want me to set something up?
No, I'm just curious.
Well, who's the gay?
I thought
Is a gay getting married or some shit?
Didn't you say you had a big announcement?
No.
Who? Tim? No, he told me he got engaged to his girlfriend last year, or his fiance now. What, Tim? What's going on?
I know what Jarrad's on about.
It got a bit awkward there for a second. What are you talking about, Jarrad?
No, it's all right. I've only got there's no gay shit on this podcast. This is an anti-homo. What is it? Homophobic podcast. This one.
Yeah, we haven't even we've gone a whole show without mentioning the anal swabs for COVID. They're having trouble with.
Oh yeah. Sorry, no, I was going to bring that up. Do you know when the anal swab testing came out? Tim went and got 3 tests in one day. He got one in the morning, middle of the day, and at night, just to make sure he didn't have COVID. Isn't that right, Tim?
He asked to take a couple home with him too, I think.
Yeah. I think he got his roommate to help.
Well, what is it? They're having trouble with the Holiday Inn cluster with a case 17 because they've had weak positives and also negatives. So they say that it's an indeterminate result, but they're classifying as a positive to be on the safe side. I'm surprised that they haven't said we're going to anal swab her to try and get the most accurate COVID test.
Anal swab who? Which chick?
This case 17 in the Holiday Inn cluster. They don't know whether she's actually got it. They've PCR tested her about 4 times. Yeah. They don't know. So maybe a journalist should maybe.
What do you reckon, Jarrad? What do you reckon they should do? Put her in the bin if they can't get a positive reading?
Well, just make it up. That's what they do every other time.
Yeah, man.
That's. I know why they haven't done that now. Just put out another false one. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, with this, I didn't want to talk about it too much, but with because they're going through the in their press conference the cases one by one, talking about how they tested negative a few times, then tested positive, and it's you've got to basically test them every 4 hours, it seems, if you want to determine something. It's
you just test them until one comes back positive. So
they're probably going to sit in the back room, bent over, who has COVID, and when they test everyone, they fucking test him just to get a positive. But sometimes they accidentally test him and then put it in the chick's mouth and shit. Ask the mouth and shit.
We're spreading Hep B as well as Corona.
This is a joke, isn't it? This fucking COVID shit, honestly.
Well, the PC.
People laugh a lot in the public.
I'm surprised that a year on they haven't come up with a more accurate and less invasive test than the brain and throat swab. And they've just said, we know of a way to make it more accurate. Jab it up the anus.
To come up with a more accurate test, they would have to actually identify the disease. So they can't do that. So how can they come up with a test? It's impossible.
I'm going to sit people down and say, look, there's a disease going around. If your fucking genetics are weak and shit, and you die, well, that's what happens and shit.
I mean, if
someone with AIDS gets the flu, they die because they're.
I mean, if you're a skeleton in your late 60s and have a history of
I'm not trying to be morbid and mean about it.
Drug and alcohol use, then you're more likely to have serious consequences from getting COVID.
Because Jarrad caught COVID, man. He didn't even know. It was just one sneeze.
I think I had it 3 times.
You've both coughed on the show tonight, I've noticed, and you haven't done the elbow cough. You've got to go like this.
I try to cough like that. Try to expel it because you tend to
That's how you're going to do it, right into someone's face.
Yeah, if you're in a queue and you start doing that shit, it opens real quick, man.
Yeah, man. So you got to film that shit. Just go to public places, Jarrad, and just real disheveled and sick and shit. And just cough on people and shit.
Anymore, bro. They've made it so you're not allowed to cough in public because.
So Daniel Andrews is going to come put you in handcuffs if you cough and shit.
The people will be reporting you. He coughed. He's got the COVID.
What was that? Another trick early in the pandemic to get people to stay away from you was to shop with a Princess Cruises bag because remember all those cruise ships they had COVID outbreaks. So if you walk into the supermarket with a Princess Cruises shopping bag, everyone just gets right the hell away from you. That's like, oh shit, how long ago were you on that cruise?
Yeah, I remember that vaguely.
We're at 10. We're at 10, buddy.
Yeah, we didn't even get to mention Trump being what is it? Well, he wasn't really acquitted; he was not convicted.
Who cares? Who cares? Doesn't matter to him. The left lost that little argument. It wasn't even to convict him; it was just to fucking publicly shame him and to try and destroy his brand. That was all it was.
Yeah, all they done was making the champ. Mate. He beat it twice.
Is he coming back, Jarrad? Is Trump?
No.
Maybe you're the next Trump.
He's not a what is it? A natural born U.S. citizen.
Yeah, I couldn't run in this country if I wanted to.
What?
Fuck
the rules, man. Fuck the rules. Yeah. Oh, hey, I got banned. Just before you go, I got banned from prison today.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Did you see it? I got banned from prison, so I can never go to prison. Tim, did you see it?
How does that work?
That's technically right, but yeah.
I received a letter from the boss of Port Phillip prison and shit. He said, Erickson, you're not allowed here because you being here in this prison is going to stuff up the order and shit of the prisoners.
So you're basically similar to some hot chick who goes to prison for a conjugal visit and rolls up all the guys there.
That's it, Tim. That's it. And they're expecting me coming with a miniskirt and shit. I'm banned from prison.
I don't know how many times I've heard Neil being referred to as a hot chick, but that's definitely not many. That's new.
Yeah.
No, he's had a Rob Schneider happen to him in that movie.
If Neil was a chick, he definitely wouldn't be a fucking hot one.
He pussy.
Yeah. To Neil Erickson.
Yeah, I heard that one before primary school thing. Thanks. And Neil Banana.
Thanks for making me revert to my childhood.
Yeah, flashback. To Neil, why don't you kneel down, Neil? I heard it all, man. Like, come on.
Yeah. I used to get one. I used to get C or B. I see a B.
What's that? CB?
Yeah, I see a B. I see a B.
Mate, how fun was it when we were younger and shit, Jarrad?
Oh, it was great.
Those were the days.
That was back before any political correctness.
Stories I could tell, but I'll never do it publicly.
Yeah.
You'll have to one day, Neil. Just before, when we'll just have to go out and tell them a whole heap of stories. We'll never be able to show our face again, but they'll slay us.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, boys. I'm going to have to go, man.
Good night.
You like Jarrad?
I'll see you guys tomorrow on this channel, 7 p.m. Melbourne time for Trad Tasman Talk. And thanks for Versace for coming on earlier as well. Catch you next Monday.
Hey, thanks for Tim for coming on the show, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Tim.
You're welcome next time, man.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Looking at the blank screen if it wasn't for Tim. I'd try to work out how to turn the motherfucker on.
Don't worry, your new show is going to be even better. Do you reckon, Tim? Do you reckon his new show is going to kick ass over this?
Yeah, I reckon.
I'll get into a lot more time. I'd probably get banned a lot quicker.
No, you'll last a week on the channel or some shit. You'll be back here.
Yeah.
Mate, you're still doing this show, yeah? You're still going to do this show?
Oh, mate, always.
Yeah.
Right. This is going to go forever, isn't it, Tim? We'll be here.
Hey, Jarrad, what's the weather like up where you are, man? Has it been all right?
It's good, man. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah? Is it dark up there yet?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course, bro. It's night time.
Cool. I know. I'm in Melbourne.
I'm only like a couple hours away from you, man.
I don't know. Does the sun rise quicker and shit over there? I don't know.
No, it's just it's sunrise here. We're just heading into the day.
Hey, Tim, what's been happening, mate? What's been going on?
All right. Good night, everyone. See you next week.
Organising this rally and inviting me to speak. I know it's not an easy thing to organise a public event, so just like to thank Magnus and that well, putting on such an important event